My name is Michael Knorr, and this is Architecture Minute. I'd like to introduce you to the work of an architect you probably haven't heard of, LaVerne Lantz. I wrote a small monograph about him a couple of years ago, and now I'd like to show you some examples of the architecture that he produced. LaVerne Lantz was an enthusiastic follower of Frank Lloyd Wright's philosophy of organic architecture. Lantz's prolific output can be found in several Midwestern states, but most examples are in southeastern Wisconsin, where he lived. The following four homes are emblematic of his organic approach to architecture and his use of a variety of geometric themes to accomplish his goals. When I met LaVerne and Molly Lantz, they were living in the first home Lantz designed for his own family. I was a junior in high school, and it was the first time I had experienced real architecture for real people. The basic geometry of the house is rectilinear, but with a 45-degree twist built into it. The house nestles into a high hill overlooking Lake Nagawicca. It shows how Lantz had already absorbed Wright's principles of organic architecture, fitting into the natural environment and emphasizing the horizontal, which Wright called the line of repose. A few years later, now with quite a few houses under his belt, Lantz designed a new home for his family on a wooded lot right next door to the first. Here Lantz explored a new geometry, a design based on a triangular or hexagonal module. The plan pinwheeled with three wings, one with the core living area of the house, a second containing bedrooms, and a third with a carport and garage. Lantz constantly modified his design. Over the years, a mitered glass bay expanded the master bath. A garden room, reminiscent of Wright's Taliesin West, was added off the living room, and a new breezeway and guest house extended further into the landscape. With Lantz's growing reputation, a third house was added to the cul-de-sac on the hill, the Worcester residence. This design explored yet another geometry with a flowing curvilinear plan and rounded details. Again, the house nestled into the landscape. The site is approached on the lower level, but the walkway and steps to the front door on the upper level seems effortless and natural. Mitered glass skylights were employed along with vacuum-formed plastic bubbles for some of the windows, a technology Lantz began to use in several subsequent projects. The interiors intensified the curvilinear theme, although in some cases it revealed a difficulty that both Wright and Lantz faced, accommodating furniture built for a rectilinear world in a curvilinear structure. Finally, in the Carrere residence, Lantz returned to a hexagonal module, a theme he repeated often. Note the broad roof overhangs and the extension of the upper floor to protect the lower level windows. These overhangs visually extend the house into the landscape while shading the windows from direct sunlight in the summer. This house was Molly Lantz's favorite. She likened it to a tree house with its panoramic array of windows looking out at the wooded lot filled with oaks and pines. The open plan with one area flowing into another is typical of Wright and all mid-century modern architecture. You can find more information on LaVerne Lantz in my monograph available through Apple Books.